At the conclusion of Rosh Hashanah, on my way back from Uman, on the way to Poland, I boarded a bus. And I prayed to Hashem, please help me to sit next to a special person, someone who can encourage me to get closer to you, someone who we can have amazing conversations about spirituality. And all of a sudden, an amazing man entered the bus, and he asked me if he could sit next to me. I said, of course. I asked him what his name was. He said, my name is Amir. My friends call me a miracle. And we started speaking, and I realized he was Baal Tshuva, someone who didn't grow up religious, someone who grew up secular, and then had some type of moment in his life where he decided, I want to change my life completely and come back to Hashem. So I asked him what that moment was. He told me that he used to be in the IDF, in the military, when he was a teenager, and he was serving as border control by Gaza. He was with his commanding officer, and out of nowhere an Arab came out with a gun. And as the Arab was about to shoot both of them, the commander quickly took out his gun before the Arab could shoot his, so that he can prevent him from shooting them. But as the commander went to go shoot the Arab before he could shoot them, he realized he had no bullets in his gun. And the Arab started shooting. And the person who was sitting next to me, Amir, he was shot 4 times in his body. Once in his leg, 2 times in his arms, 1 for one arm, 1 in the other arm, and I believe 1 in his shoulder. He was hurt really, really, really bad. Limbs had become disjointed, bones were broken. He wasn't able to move. And the commander, seeing what was going on and what happened to his friend Amir, he ran over to tackle the Arab before he could do any more damage. As the Arab saw the commander coming, he threw himself back on the floor and took out a grenade. He took the pin out of the grenade and threw it up in the air. And as it went up in the air, Amir felt like his life was going to end. This was the end of his life at a very young age. And instinctually, he just started to scream out loud, Shema Yisrael. He said Shema. And he opened his eyes, and he saw the grenade on the floor, and it didn't go off. He took the pin out, he threw it up in the sky, it hit the ground, but it did not go off. And he couldn't believe it. The Shema saved his life. And he thought it was over. And all of a sudden the Arab took out another grenade, and he threw it up in the air. And he thought, for sure my life is over now. And he started to speak to his mother, who was not there. He said, Mom, I love you, please don't forget me. And he sees the grenade hits the floor again, and it doesn't go off. This happened 3 times. Finally, one of the officers had bullets, but he didn't have a gun. He took the officer's gun, and he was able to shoot the Arab before he could do any more damage. After this was all over, he ended up looking into Shema. And that was the beginning of his tshuva. Tonight is Yom Kippur. On Yom Kippur, we say the full Shema. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. And we say it out loud. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto L'Olam Va'ed. That which we usually say silently, on Yom Kippur we scream out loud. Because on Yom Kippur, Hashem's dominion, his authority, his rulership over the world is in full range. Everyone gets to experience that Hashem is really the cause of everything that takes place in our life. And therefore we don't say like we do silently, because Hashem usually during the year is hiding himself. But on Yom Kippur we're saying it out loud because he's revealing himself to us. The story is to bring out the power of Shema, the koach of believing in Hashem, that even the secular person who didn't know anything besides this one pasuk of Shema, who said it out loud with all of his heart and soul and might, was saved through a miracle from death. And on Yom Kippur, we're praying to Hashem that we should have forgiveness for the whole year. Be'ezrat Hashem, with this forgiveness and the power of our faith, we should see the Mashiach Zikenu b'merav yameinu soon in our days.